We are living in bewildering times, a climate of divisiveness and unrest. The systems we have become accustomed to are buckling under the pressure of this transformation. These challenges could be an unprecedented opportunity to create a new future that honors all life. Perhaps this global pattern interrupt has given us a moment to consider who we are and why we are really here. It has been said that the three most important moments in your life are when you are born, when you die, and when you find your purpose. Could it be that as a species we have a collective opportunity to awaken to a life of greater meaning? To rise to the challenges that face us, to create a world we know is possible in our hearts. If you have spent more time in nature during this period, perhaps you have noticed how she is thriving without this relentless pressure. Isn't it comforting to know that the Earth knows how to regenerate and rebalance herself when we give her a moment to breathe? We are incredibly adaptive as well. As a new normal emerges, humanity is demonstrating great resilience and ingenuity. In this next chapter of humanity, what if we created our systems to operate symbiotically with nature, to support life and each other? The Earth unites us, regardless of nation, religion, race, political affiliation. We are all indigenous to this beloved planet. These seeds of the new Earth need to be watered for them to take root and thrive. It is the mission of the Purpose Earth Fund to support this emergent creativity. This global initiative is a grant and mentorship program focused on empowering individuals and nonprofit organizations doing important work in the areas of societal restoration, community activation, and environmental preservation. Purpose Earth funds such initiatives with support from its generous contributors. If your heart feels called to support humanity and our planet, we are accepting donations at www.purposeearth.org. Funds are distributed directly to our Purpose Earth grant recipients, allowing your contribution to make a powerful, immediate impact on local communities. All donations assist young social entrepreneurs, passionate community leaders, and purposeful organizations to accelerate their endeavors towards sustainable change. Help us fund the consciousness revolution from the grassroots up.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to those of you who are joining us from all over the globe. We are so pleased that you've come together with us for an incredible gathering celebrating peace and purpose. My name is Dr. Shamini Jan. I'm the founder and CEO of the Consciousness and Healing Initiative, and it's my great honor to be with you for these next many minutes where we celebrate the light of purpose across the globe. Today, you're going to be hearing from leaders, both young and old, who are forwarding incredible social change using the light of their consciousness to create a better world, a more peaceful world, and a world full of harmony. And speaking of light, you might have heard actually that millions of people across the globe just yesterday, and some today even, are celebrating a festival of lights called Diwali. And Diwali has, of course, roots in Hindu culture, Jain culture, and Buddhist culture, but it's really a global celebration. It's a global celebration of returning to the light within us, the light individually, and the light collectively. So, what an incredible time for us to be coming together to celebrate the light of purpose. I've been asked to share a mantra, actually, and so I'll do that in the spirit of light and purpose. I come from the Jain tradition, and I'll share with you a mantra that we really consider universal. It's a mantra that celebrates all of those who have found their inner light and have dedicated their lives, whether as enlightened masters, whether as spiritual teachers, whether as enlightened souls, to share the path of light and love and peace. So let's allow ourselves to just finally relax. It's a beautiful day, it's Sunday, and let's just take this in for just a few moments. We'll begin the program. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Uvajayanam. Namo Lohe Savasahunam. Eso Panchanamukaro Sava Pavapanasano Mangalanancha Savesanch Paramang Vehi Mangalam. We bow to all those teachers across the world who share the path of light and ask that this mantra dispel all ignorance in the world. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for being with us today. And I have to tell you, I'm so excited by the people that you're going to meet in this program. As I mentioned, young people forwarding social change, incredible artists, music, dancing. I mean, you're in for a real treat. And let's begin the program by exploring Indigenous wisdom as well as social change. Let's begin.
I'm Dr. Anita Sanchez, Aztec, and Latina. I'm also known as Graceful Warrior. And I have the honor of being the author and messenger of the Eagle Hoop Prophecy. The Eagle Hoop Prophecy was foretold in 1994 by a vision of a Mohican elder, Don Coyas, who is also founder of White Bison. And in his dream time, this vision came where an eagle came over him and the light flowed down. And basically he was shown that he was to create a hoop of wood from a tree. And the leaves that fell from the tree that allowed that one piece of wood left that he created the hoop were 100 eagle feathers that were to be attached to it. And in this hoop, a symbol for all humankind about our oneness, were to be gifts placed in them, in the hoop, for all humankind. And he was to call out elders from all different directions, from the north, the south, the east, the west, every direction, to come to create this prophecy, because the time had come that we'd been in a great winter time and lots of difficulty was going to occur because human beings had forgot how to be in harmony, in peace with themselves, other two-legged human beings, nature, and the earth and spirit itself. So he went to the elders as a council of elders afterwards, as many of us do when we have such a vision. And they said, yes, you must do this. And of course, being human, he was like, okay, I'll put the call out. But how are we going to get 100 eagle feathers? And so he put the call out. And in that fall of 1994, 27 elders came from all the different directions around the earth. And during that few months, the eagle feathers began appearing, people bringing them to him. And it was just amazing, but not amazing at all, because he was following spirit. And that weekend, the elders stayed together, prayed, sang their songs in all their different languages, meditated. There was no arguing, there was no disagreement. They were, as the hoop was, one humanity. And at the end of that, they put in the gifts that Spirit told them to put in there to help all of us, to remember how to create harmony and peace. And the first gift that they put in was the power to forgive the unforgivable. Take a breath and allow that to set into your ceremonial part of your heart, the power to forgive the unforgivable. What is calling you to forgive? The second gift that they put into the hoop is the power of unity. The gift of the power of unity. Take a breath and allow that to sit right in the ceremonial part of your heart. The unity, it will take all of us, every single one, to create the balance again. And then they put the third gift into the hoop, the power of the gift of healing. The gift of healing. Take a breath and allow that to sit in the ceremonial part of your heart. And the gift of healing is not a one-time gift. We get to use it every day for the little hurts and the big hurts. To heal, we have that power for ourselves and to be present and support others in that healing. And the fourth gift they put in the hoop is the power of the gift of hope in action. Take a breath and allow that to sit in the ceremonial part of your heart. Hope in action. We each get to choose to be in action, to create the harmony and balance that it'll take all of us to do this. And Spirit said, use these 4 gifts and you will remember how to do that. And the elders were very happy, and they were telling each other they will take this back to their people. And Spirit stopped them and said, these gifts are for all humankind, not only for your nations, but for everyone. We are each needed at this time to create the harmony and balance. I am grateful to the elders, the 27 elders. I'm grateful to Don Coyas. I'm grateful to the Great Mystery Spirit. And I'm grateful to each of you to use these gifts to create, to remember how to be and how to do in this beautiful hoop of life that is ours.
Greetings, everyone. Over the last 4 years, Unity Earth has been on a worldwide mission for unity and peace, which has taken us right around the globe on the road to 2020, including the recent Caravan of Unity across America and around the world. And we are delighted to be participating in the launch of this brilliant, important new initiative, Purpose Earth. And it's an honor to be with you here today for Purpose Earth for Peace. I loved what we just heard from Dr. Anita Sanchez, the 4 sacred gifts, and in particular that last one, this hope in action. And it really strikes me that that's what we're here to talk about today. The entire program of Purpose Earth and the community building and environmental solutions that it is empowering really is about hope in action. This innovative, cutting-edge new program, the brainchild and vision of Emmanuel Kunzelman and the team from the Global Purpose Movement, really is designed to be an opportunity to people doing amazing work in the world that do not have access to traditional forms of funding. It's so important that we see to empower the passion and the vision that change agents are having all around the world as we rise to meet the needs of this current moment, including empowering and financing and supporting these great spirit-led visions and missions that people are given all around the world to be able to participate in the transformation of our planet. One thing we are so proud of at Purpose Earth is our Grants Council. Our Grants Council are made up of first-class people from a variety of experiences and cultures from around the world. Laura Rose co-founded and serves as CEO of Greenheart International, a non-profit organization that has facilitated the cultural exchange experiences of more than 150,000 participants from 85 countries, also supporting fair trade artisans. Through her work, young people recognize their ability to positively impact the world. Dr. Marty K. Casey combines her passion for the arts with compassion for her community. Dr. Casey is the founder of Ungun Institute, focused on disarming trauma in individuals to heal from collective traumatic events which plague the Black communities. You'll hear from Dr. Marty a little later. Kevin Chiteri is a Kenyan social entrepreneur, co-founding the Kenya Youth Biotechnology and Biosciences Network, operating an ecotourism company and working with small-scale farmers to adapt agricultural technologies. Linda Bjork built what would become one of Scandinavia's most profitable and award-winning design and branding agencies. Known as a mind training pioneer as a CEO, Linda Bjork is the founder of the Transformative Intelligence System for Leaders, Mindfulness Intelligence. Dr. Peter Blaise Corcoran is Professor Emeritus of Environmental Studies and Environmental Education at Florida Gulf Coast University, and has long served as a research fellow at the Earth Charter Center for Education for Sustainable Development at University for Peace in San Jose, Costa Rica. This is our amazing Grants Council, and they are the ones that are making the choices and the decision to empower these incredible communities of purpose around the world to bring funding to the passion and to the energy and to the inspiration of these communities that are on fire to make a positive transformation, both in the field of community activation as well as environmental sustainability. So folks, please, this is your opportunity to get engaged and get involved in Purpose Earth and support the incredible work that is being done by this innovative, cutting-edge, transformational platform. I'll see you a little bit later in the program.
Wow, thank you, Ben. So inspiring, and thank you and Emmanuel and Laura and everyone that's been involved in orchestrating such a beautiful way to help provide assistance for those who are forwarding social change. And I'm so excited for us to learn about some of the things that people are doing today during the program. I also want to thank Dr. Anita Sanchez for a beautiful description of the prophecy. And the need to, of course, provide hope and action, as well as forgiveness and healing. And Ashley, thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful visual entrance into the program. Such beautiful visual artwork. I want to give a shout out too to several people that are joining us from all over the world. We've got folks from the UK, Sophia in the UK, Diane in Venice, as well as Dusty in the Sonoma Valley of the Moon joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited that you're with us. Well, let's talk about this, right? Peace and global harmony, as we learned from the prophecy. It takes all of us. We all form a giant, beautiful ring of truth and hope in action. So, how does that work when we have collective trauma? I'm really so pleased to introduce you to Dr. Marty Casey, who's going to speak with us next about ungunning our heart. Let's listen.
Thank you for having me today. It's truly an honor to be here with Purpose Earth for Peace. Today, I want to talk to you about Ungun Institute. Ungun Institute is very dear to my heart due to the fact that it is my story. I was a person that struggled with trauma for a very long time, to be exact, collective trauma, meaning that I have had experiences over and over and over again with trauma. And during the time that we have entered into around the world, where a lot of people are dealing with so many things, we all are experiencing collective trauma. One of the ways that we share collective trauma is every time that we hear about a young Black man or boy being shot and killed by police officers. I work specifically with a lot of mothers from around the United States who have suffered from that type of trauma. We're also dealing with COVID-19, and we also have come off of a very instrumental election in the United States. All of us may be suffering from different pain and trauma and hurt for many different reasons, but trauma has no respect of person. When you are hurt and you are in pain, it is personal, and it's something that you have to deal with on a personal level. So creating Ungun Institute Heal Method, and that's HEAL, I offer a few ways as to how you can heal. H is for how to disarm trauma bullets. E is to engage and reverse trauma by using art. A, activate your firing power by targeting your bullseye. And L is look for trauma triggers and make sure that your safety lock is on. Those are 4 ways that we teach you how to disarm trauma. Because to be quite honest, I'm never worried about the guns that one may carry in their hands. That's not my business. But what I am concerned about are the guns that we carry in our hearts. So I ask you today to consider, to self-reflect, and work on yourself to disarm trauma. And you can do that by contacting Ungun Institute.
It was so fun. We painted all this. I liked about the part painting the windows and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah?
It was super fun.
I feel great.
This is important because it's like beautiful and it gives kids, how do I say, motivation to do more art.
So I came into this thinking, we're gonna paint murals, we're gonna have kids break down barriers, and police officers will see each other differently. What I didn't know was possible was for me to see in them what our world could be.
And I wish I had something like this. Growing up, when I was around their age in 4th, 5th, 6th grade.
Using paint and art to get to certain people and communities that we wouldn't have access to, and bringing and developing these kids and their personalities and who they are.
the art world is so removed from their life.
Painting this wall makes me feel really, really happy, to be honest.
And when you're in that community every day, seeing the challenges, the hurt, the pain, the dreams that come alive when you just open up a paint can and start painting.
Painting this wall makes me feel thankful because a lot of people don't have this opportunity. Like all the kids are walking around, they don't have the opportunity to do this.
Where we need to invest in them while they are still a sponge, where we can still actually get to their heart.
Just by painting murals, by bringing LAPD officers who are also misunderstood, but to bring the children out from our city to change their community, to be the ones painting their city, to be the ones speaking a message of whether it's be yourself, whether it's be happy, whether it's love everyone, whatever they want to say.
And just like that excitement, I just felt like so much of a connectedness and relatability to that just like raw, vulnerable energy.
When I'm like way older, and I'm an artist, I would feel proud of myself because I made it through all of these years doing this, and I look back at this and I just say, whoa, I actually did that?
And you understand what's going on in their personal life. When you understand maybe some issues that they're having with their dad, or the dad not being in the picture, or maybe sometimes the mom not being a positive role model in their picture, and we're able to actually show them something different.
There are so many other kids out there who need that push and that support. And it's important. It's as simple as that. Like, it's as important as learning your multiplication and grammar. You know, you need that outlet to support all the other things that are worth learning.
This project and the journey it's taken me on has broken my heart open in a way I didn't know it wasn't open. To understand that kids need to be empowered is one thing. To see the most precious humans in the world, our children, have their eyes open, their heart open, their idea of who they could be opened, just in the process of designing and painting and connecting, makes me know that these are our leaders. It fills my heart in the most profoundly, like, there are no words. Like, there is no dictionary word that explains the feeling I feel when I see these kids with police officers, with their parents, turning around, looking at me and being like, I did it. We did it. This beautiful work that we get to do that can seem on the outside just like art and play is deeply rooted in science and the work of healing trauma, of regulating someone's polyvagal nervous system. When we're in the room with police officers and children, we're building bridges through science, through regulating their nervous system, allowing them to see each other as friends and take away the trauma response that might happen when they see each other on the street and they're in a moment of tension. But the mural itself, once it's put on the wall, it literally creates awe and reverence in the brain, which can give someone a pattern interrupt if they were going to commit a crime or they're feeling socially disengaged. It can bring them back to a place of engagement. And because of that, we've seen that you can, in fact, reduce the crime rate around these murals by 18%. Because someone who might have been going to commit that crime gets a hi, how are you from somebody, and it changes how they feel about their day and what they were about to do. And this is something that it doesn't have to be a mega mural for us all to do. We could literally just create moments of awe in ourselves every day by smiling at another person. That pattern interrupt can literally happen from a hi, how's your day been? And actually answering the question and having a moment of connection, or doing a piece of art for yourself, or just doing the thing that you know for yourself will bring yourself back to calm. And if you see art on the street, take it in and appreciate it. And if you see a human on the street, take them in and appreciate them. These are all the things that art does for us, but we don't have to just wait for something to do it to us. We can create it for ourselves. And I'm just so grateful that this program has brought that into my world and created that same piece that so many folks who are artists know they get, but we can share it with everybody.
With so many things happening around the world nowadays, with the presence of the coronavirus pandemic, the unending wars, poverty, and even our personal challenges and struggles, at turbulent times like this, I find inner peace by going back to my purpose. By asking myself, why am I doing this in the first place, and why do I need to keep going? By doing that, I believe that you get to remind yourself that there is more reason for you to keep going. That there is no reason for you to be upset, to be discouraged, because you have this vision. You have this dream that you want to attain someday, that you want to see someday. In my perspective as a leader, I find inner peace by always reminding myself that at times like this is where I am more needed. And this is where I can do more for my community, for the world, as I always envision a better place, a better world for all of us to live in.
The people are counting on you. 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 Win! Win! All right. Win! Now let's go. In the middle of Babylon, what's going on? Hold it down with the upper down. Listen to the sounds from the clouds to the ground. When you heard, tap in
Wow, Darian, thank you for that. I cannot stay in my seat right now. And if you guys are feeling the same way, the good news is DJ Taz is going to be having us up and dancing pretty soon. But wow, what beauty, what richness we just witnessed from so many amazing leaders. Art. Art was really punctuated by all of our speakers here in different ways. You know, Dr. Casey, the wisdom that you just shared with us was profound, and your highlighting of the use of art, you know, to empower us to release our collective trauma, to regenerate with that creative force, which is divine and in all of us, just profound. And then those examples in action. Georgia, the work that you and all of your students and all of the people involved in Murals for Peace is doing. This is hope in action. This is using the creative force for social change. An 18% reduction in crime where you place your murals is incredible. And I loved your explanation, both, of course, on the neuroscientific level and just on the real, right? Art opens us up in so many ways. And Ashley, for you to share that beautiful, moving piece of visual artwork for us to just sort of take all of this in. And of course, Jiro, to explain to us, how do we find peace even in troubling times by reuniting with our purpose? Jiro is a Green Heart alumni, has been doing really incredible work for social change in so many ways. So, you know, art is amazing because it provides us with all of this perspective, right? And who to talk to us about perspective than an astronaut? Next, we have Ron Guerin to speak with us about the orbital perspective. Let's listen to Ron's wisdom next.
Hi, everyone at Purpose Earth for Peace. Former astronaut Ron Guerin here, coming live. Well, not live when you're reviewing this, but I'm live at the moment at Boulder, in Boulder, Colorado. So I've got the beautiful Flatirons behind me. Thought that this would be a good backdrop to thank everybody at Purpose Earth for Peace for all that you're doing to help build and develop a culture of peace around the world. And I think it's really important, not only that you're doing that, not only that you're becoming part of the immune response of our planet, but that you're doing it right now. Because right now, we are at an inflection point between two human epochs, an inflection point where we need to make sure that we get on the right path, a path that's going to lead to a restorative and positive future, a restorative future where 10 billion humans can live in harmony with each other and with the biosphere and live within our Earth's planetary limits and boundaries. And I think we have an opportunity before us. We have a call to action. We have this pivotal wake-up call that we're all faced with. And there's a lot of concrete things that we need to do to be able to get on the right path. We have a choice in front of us. We have a choice where we can continue down the same path that we're on, and we can continue to embrace the two-dimensional us versus them aspects of the old human epoch, or we can enter into a new human epoch and embrace the pillars that will bring us to this new way of doing things. And that's to embrace interdependence, our deep interdependence, long-term thinking, and profound collaboration, all wrapped in the blanket of empathy and compassion. We cannot continue as a species with a two-dimensional map as our model, this map that hangs in classrooms around the world, that we've all been taught is the true reality of our world. The true reality of our world was made very clear on December 24th, 1968, which I think is the start of this inflection point. It was on that day where we as a species saw for the first time with our own eyes the whole planet hanging in the blackness of space, when Apollo 8 came up from behind the far side of the moon. And we need to start living with this new guidepost. In 1968, humanity was given a new guidepost. It was shown that the territory had changed. What we thought the territory was had changed. And it's now time for us to use a new guidepost and to embrace our implicit wholeness, that we are all truly in this together. And that's the true definition of peace. The true definition of peace is when the word them kind of disappears and vanishes, and all that's left is us. And we realize that what happens to one of us happens to all of us, and that we are truly all in this together. We are all riding through the universe together on this spaceship that we call Earth, that we're all interconnected, interdependent, and we're all truly family. And so with that, I applaud all that you're doing and all that you will do to help make life as beautiful and as peaceful as it looks from space. And so thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joseph Volkanowski, and I'm one of the co-founders of Re-Earth Initiative, a youth-led movement and NGO that focuses on reimagining our future, reconnecting with the planet, and redefining collaboration. A little backstory of us is that on April 22nd, 2020, we mobilized thousands of people to take part in our global digital protest, where we asked each person to make 2 climate pledges for Earth Day, one individual and one systemic. Our campaign was a huge success, but we can't stop here. We want to take things one step further and help you turn those pledges into real action. So while youth are becoming more aware about social and environmental issues, there still remains a gap in driving real concrete change. We want to break the echo chamber and bring climate action to the masses by hosting informational webinars and writing toolkits. We also recognize that not everyone is able to participate in protests, physically or digitally, nor afford environmentally preferred products and foods. We therefore strive to provide a wide range of avenues for people to participate in the climate movement. So this is where I want to talk to you about the connection and correlation and the mentorship that Purpose Earth has given Re-Earth to really achieve our mission. Through both understanding and supporting us in the past few months, we've really grown into a platform where we learned how to really navigate the avenues of becoming an NGO, as well as looking forward to and using the resources that Purpose Earth has given us to move into different campaigns, such as our Escazú Agreement campaign, which focused on climate change within South America. We then moved on to our voting campaign, driving people to the polls and making sure that youth are able to use their voices in a correct and uniform manner. And now we're on to other things that we want to focus on, all with the help of Purpose Earth and as well as their fund that they gave us, that really drives change and really helps us to bring in the Re-Earth imagination and what we really think should happen in the next few months. So even in our fight for environmental action, we must be wary of groups who dominate the conversations. We believe that climate change means uplifting the voices of those who've been historically marginalized in frontline communities. So by supporting us, we're able to break that stigma and really bring a multi-generational and multicultural aspect to the environmental movement. Thank you.
One of the many things that makes Purpose Earth so special is our commitment to mentoring. It's not just about giving funding to communities of purpose around the world. It's about being there to help develop strategically and implement the plan and the mission. Using the combined wisdom and experience of the global purpose movement together with the whole Unity Earth network of leadership around the world to work with the grant recipients in a whole range of areas. It could be from getting registered as a not-for-profit in certain countries to bookkeeping, all the way through to strategic development. So wasn't it great just now to hear from Joseph Widenowski of the Re-Earth Initiative, one of Purpose Earth's first grant recipients and mentees. Joseph is an 18-year-old racial and climate activist from Colombia, working with young leaders around the world to mobilize while reimagining our future, reconnect with the planet, and redefine collaboration. Let's talk a little bit about the direct impact we are having right now and examples of who Purpose Earth is funding and mentoring. Well, let's start with the Re-Earth Initiative. They're a youth-led, global, inclusive, and intersectional climate justice organization fighting for a more sustainable future for our planet. Their mission is to make the climate movement accessible to all. And they are working to really close the gap in creating real concrete change. Another organization in Ghana, and this is amazing, Transforming Environment, Transforming Lives, is an amazing project led by 26-year-old Timotina Bokia in Ghana. You're going to hear an interview a little bit later with Timotina and Laura Rose. Timotina's program is working with communities of women and youth to transform waste products into ecologically friendly products for sale. It's amazing. It's having a huge impact, and it's building community at the same time. Another grant recipient is Unity Earth. Unity Earth, Road to 2020, the Caravan of Unity Peace Weekend were funded by Purpose Earth. We are a good example of what a community of purpose looks like. Community of purpose is a community that is defined not by geography or by blood links, but by a commitment to a shared value and a common goal. And Unity Earth has done what it has been able to do in 2020 with thanks to the Purpose Earth Fund. To date, above and beyond the money given to Unity Earth, Purpose Earth has given $84,000 to grassroots organizations and individuals. And right now, I am so excited to tell you, we are announcing this $100,000 matching grant, which is available. We are now accepting grant applications for our current round of funding. You can get your application in by December the 4th. And this $100,000 matching grant is your opportunity. You can see the link here to be a part of this, to get connected with it, be a part of this growing movement, supporting communities of purpose, leaders, and groups around the world that are on fire for transformational change. And they need your support, our support, money and mentoring together to really help land the vision and the dream that they've got of a sustainable world and a better world for all. This $100,000 matching grant is live. It's open now. It's something that doesn't matter what you want to give. Nothing too small, nothing too big, but that $100,000 matching grant is on now. How exciting. So let's be a part of it. Let's fund the movement, and let's be a part together as we rise together for this transformational moment for our planet.
What we have here is evidence that the topology of the world is not the topology that we ordinarily see. That is, we see things as separated by a certain distance. We walk across a room and we think, well, we've left the far wall of the room behind us and so forth. But there's an attempt to say, well, maybe things that from our macroscopic point of view appear to be widely separated in space, from a microscopic point of view might actually be contiguous and touching one another.
Peace. I hear the calling for our destiny.
We are the revolution.
Sometimes when it seems like you're so far behind and you'll never catch up, you got to get up on your feet. You got to say, Lord, I'm going to run the race as hard and as fast as I can. Sometimes you just got to begin to chase a dream that is bigger than you. Can't wait on other people to be what you've been called to be. You have to be willing to understand your opportunity. You have to be willing to appreciate your Anybody who wants to run, but I can't stop running because you're not running with me. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life won't chase it with you. You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life won't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because when you do it, you're going to have to do it all by yourself.
Taz, DJ Taz, thank you so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed that music and were dancing around like I was. That was absolutely brilliant. And Ben, what did I just hear from you? $100,000 matching grant for social change? What? That's amazing. So what we're hearing is that Purpose Earth is basically this beautiful meeting ground for those who can contribute to do so, right? And you can do that by going to purposeearth.org, for example, or text Purpose 2020 to the number on your screen right there to help facilitate that $100,000 matching grant. But not only that, if you have a social change plan, if you'd like to be a grantee, you should be going to purposeearth.org as well, because they're accepting grant applications up until December 4th. So again, this beautiful convergence of everyone, including you, that's creating a culture of peace. And if you're watching this, you're creating a culture of peace. You're probably a peacemaker. Maybe you see yourself as a peacemaker. Maybe you don't. But the truth is we're all in this together, as the ancient Hoop prophecy said. Right? So we want to hear from you, actually. There's opportunities for you to engage with us live right now, and we want you to be able to share your wisdom about the different ways that you're creating a culture of peace. And if you don't think you are, I just ask you to reflect on that for a moment. As a parent, as a caregiver, as a young person, as an elder, everything that you do, everything that you even think, and everything that you vibrate out into the world makes a huge difference. So please share your wisdom with us, and I'll be sure to call out some of you if you want us to. We'd love to do that. And let's hear now, again, from both young and old, from Indigenous wisdom and current social change activists about the ways that they're creating a culture of peace. Let's dig in.
Greetings, planetary family. Welcome to my little corner of this rock we call home. I want to thank Purpose Earth for Peace for having me. I feel deeply honored to be here. I am an Earth Keeper. I've considered myself an Earth Keeper for many years and the many iterations of who I am. My current iteration as Earth Keeper manifests as the proud member and head apiarist at the Halsey Community Farm here in Brooklyn, New York. We are a multi-generational, multicultural, community-based organization. We believe deeply in social justice. We believe deeply in food justice. We believe deeply in community mental health. We encourage sustainable urban farming practices, the improvement of local pollination. We believe deeply in community sustainability, and our hope is that in our work that we can continue to encourage these practices in connecting youth and elders alike. We're bringing wisdom with the fresh ideas of the youth to the space in hopes that we can build lasting practices that can really sustain our communities. With organizations such as Purpose Earth for Peace, with organizations such as local community farms, we can really help to sustain our planet. We grow food, we share in the food, and we're growing and sharing in relationships. And we can only hope to really continue the work. And I feel really blessed in being a part of that work. I want to thank you and hope to continue to be a part of it all. Thank you.
It is so great to meet you. Welcome to my kitchen. I am Lindsay Shifley. I'm a mind-body chef and a mind-body coach. And on the coaching side of things, not only am I a mind-body eating coach, but I am a mind-body pitching coach. That's right. I teach young athletes, young women, how to pitch softballs pretty darn fast. And so I really love combining my two passions of cooking and pitching because I believe it all starts at a home plate. Get it? So it is just an honor to be here with you, here in my kitchen, and you in yours, or wherever you might be watching this, to talk about food and peace and the love that connects all of us. What an honor to be a part of this global initiative, Purpose Earth for Peace. Thank you so much for having me. So peace, love, cooking, joy, struggle, I think it's all part of the same cauldron. The culture of peace can't be there without conflict, right? It's like that yin and that yang. And as a coach, as a chef, I like to bring awareness to the fast and the slow, right? In softball and baseball, you're not going to win if you don't have a good changeup. So we live in a fast pitch world, and cooking, changeups, eating slower, taking that time to bring peace and cultivate peace in your life is really, really important. Because I guess for myself, I think for everyone, right, we're talking about that growth mindset all the time, and how failure and how struggle is really not only where those plants learn to grow stronger and dig deeper roots. That's where we grow. However, we can't be struggling all the time. We have to find rest. We have to find peace, because that's the time we find forgiveness. We find rejuvenation, we can begin again. And so cooking is this cycle that I return to every day. And some days I might skip, right? But I have to find that yin and that yang, with peace, with struggle, with peace, with conflict, with fast and slow. And cooking brings that to me. And it's that love that I put into my food that I know is nourishing my guests and my family, and that in turn nourishes me. And so it's that complete circle. That's kind of like the ball I teach girls how to throw.
Hi, this is John Perkins, and I want to talk about the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. I want to start by saying, I really grew up in an eagle culture, and I became an economist, an economic hitman, wrote books about that, and then I studied with condor peoples, shamans, and wrote some books about that also. But I also want to point out that none of us is all eagle or all condor. No culture is all eagle or all condor. There's a mixture, but there's imbalance in many respects, and that's what the prophecy talks about. How the prophecy goes back thousands of years. We don't know how far back it goes, but back then, several thousand years ago, in the oral tradition, it was said that the human beings of this planet, societies, would take two different flights, two different routes. One would be the flight of the eagle, which it was said would be the flight of dominating nature, of science, of industry, let's say. And the other, that would be the eagle. And the other would be the flight of the condor, the flight of the heart, of feeling our deep connection with nature. And these two people would separate. And incidentally, it's interesting, the condor does clean up. It eats carrion. It's a type of vulture. It doesn't try to dominate things. And the eagle is a very dominating bird. It's an attack bird. It's a raptor. In any case, the prophecy says that these two branches of society would separate. They'd go separate routes for thousands of years. And then in what's called the fourth Pachacuti in Quechua, a 500-year interval, which began around 1500, it was said that the eagle and the condor cultures would come together and they would clash. And the eagle would be so powerful as to practically drive the condor into extinction, but not quite. And we know that's what happened. 1500, 1492, Columbus, the age of exploration, when the European and the dominant cultures that were primarily involved in industry and dominating nature practically drove the indigenous cultures into extinction, but not quite. And then 500 years later, in what's called the fifth Pachacuti, which would be about the year 2000, the opportunity would arise for the eagle and the condor to come to really mate, to fly in one sky, to dance, to mate, and to create a new offspring, higher consciousness, which would be bringing the two together, the brain, the mind, the industrialized, and the heart, the feeling of connection with nature. And again, each part of society had bits of all of this, and every individual has some of all of this in us. It's just a matter of balance. So really what this is about is balancing, a time of balancing. And it's also like we can say that we all have a bit of masculine and a bit of feminine in us, and sometimes they get out of balance in people, and we bring them together. And so this prophecy says that now we're at this time where these come together. And of course, we've seen this happening. it wasn't long ago in the 1990s, really, when people began to get really interested in indigenous culture. People in the Eagle lands got interested in the studying people from the Condor lands, and people from the Condor lands, the indigenous cultures, wanted to share their knowledge. They understood how important this was. And so you and I live at this phenomenal time in history where we're recognizing that there's been this imbalance, and that both these parts of society have a lot to contribute. And the important thing is to bring them into balance. The important thing is to move into a higher level of consciousness. And that's where we've been going. If you look at even looking at economic issues like conscious capitalism, the Green New Deal, B corporations, we've seen ourselves moving in this direction of understanding that we must bring all of our aspects together, that it's so important to balance the heart and the mind, the masculine and the feminine, all of this, bringing it together. So feel blessed that you live at this time in history when you're a part of this, and we can move into a much more successful, peaceful, balanced world. Feel the blessings of that.
Wow, John, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding us of the Eagle and Condor prophecy and all the ways that it's showing up for us today. As I mentioned, I lead a nonprofit called the Consciousness and Healing Initiative. And so we're seeing exactly what you're talking about, the merging of the eagle and the condor thinking in science, in medicine, in understanding how we heal ourselves. For example, we've been exploring for quite a while now this area that Westerners are calling the biofield, the fields of energy and information that guide our healing. And what we're learning is that our healing vibration is truly profound. And, while this has been known in indigenous wisdom circles and cultures and spiritual traditions and medical traditions for millennia across the world, or you can say ego-led Western medicine is just starting to really open its eyes to the incredible power that we have to heal ourselves and others. And we're seeing this all over, all in the data. And we're seeing this with you. We just want to give a shout out to all of you amazing Eagle plus Condor people that are taking leadership with the wide global perspective today. We know that there are people watching right now and contributing to this movement in community gardens, in community mental health, in food justice activation, and all over. So thank you. Thank you for the work that you're already doing. Thank you for being here and showing your support for Purpose Earth. And I just want to also give a shout out to someone who asked a question. And, maybe this is a question that many of us have. John asks us, what is a good local step one can take to protect the environment? Well, as we're learning, right? It all begins with us. So every little thing we do matters. So when we take the reusable bags to the grocery store, we're not only doing that, from our own, need to make sure that we're kind of living as sustainably as we are in our house. But when people see you doing something seemingly so small, like taking your reusable bags to the store, it actually prompts them to do the same. Same thing with, restaurants where they allow you to bring your own containers for takeout. All these little small things make a difference. Really, our moment-to-moment awareness and our love for the earth will guide us to make better choices. And we're seeing that show up today. Well, I don't know about you, but one of the things I'm really appreciating in this program, among many, are, of course, all of the beautiful leaders, both young and old, that are sharing such wisdom, and our artists that are reminding us that part of the fuel that we have for social change is uniting with our creative force. So next, I'm really excited to share with you, Auntie Ballas is joining us next. Some of you may know them. They hail from great, kind of Afro beat roots, and they're here to help us shake our booties for a moment. So let's do that. And we'll be hearing from the wisdom of Greg Braden and many others coming up next.
a cowboy named Coloma from a town called Gold Town, now Ghost Town. Coloma asked Chief Two Eagles, where did we go wrong? When I think of gold, Sundance are invoked in my heart. Homage to the Susan dancer, all the nations. Rush take over land, land that beat us all. Rush onto weapon of the space land, of controlling of our resources. Rush take over land, land that beat us all. When I think of gold, Sundance has invoked in my heart. Homage to the Susan dancer, all the nations. Back when 1804, pick a time and shake, yeah, taking up warrior. Who resist the big gun? Who get big gun back then? General Edmund begins, then get big gun then. Back when 1832, fight it back up war. Who benefits from this war? One with a big gun. Who get big gun back then? 1849, Coloma. Coloma, go wrong. Breeding greedy system. Slave trade scalping. Trailers, yeah. Manifest destiny. Gold, Blackstone, Black Bulls, Black Diamond, Franklin, water, Eldorado, Pura vida. Paris, my gold. Gamelan, recycling language, indigenous production, healing our broken system, indigenous liberation, we'll heal our broken system, but then I'm ready for humanity. Right now,
Hello, my name is Katya, and I'm here today to share part of my story about serendipity, forgiveness, gratitude, and celebration of life. I was born and raised on the Greek island of Cyprus, also known as the Island of Love. I was blessed enough to be raised by a lot of my elders who taught me about life through the power of story. And my grandmother, from my mother's side in particular, she taught me early on that serendipity meant intentional happenings that guided us all through our lives to make the best possible choices if we chose to pay attention. So today I will share with you a couple of those intentional happenings that, although they took place years apart from each other, they impacted my life in such a big way. The first one took place in 1974, when our island was invaded by air and by sea. I will never forget the sirens, the sound of planes covering the dark sky as they drop the bombs, the cries of the people around me from panic and fear of this unexpected event in our lives. And within days, thousands of people either lost their lives or they lost their homes because they were forced to evacuate. My family was blessed enough to be able to work at the Red Cross headquarters. And one day, one of the volunteers came to me and asked me to follow her to a room that was filled with children. And she asked me to take care of them. I was 16 years old. And I looked at her and asked, "What do you want me to do?" And she looked at me and said, "Simply love them," and walked away. So I did the best thing I knew how to do. I gathered them as close to me as possible, and I asked them to close their eyes. And I began to tell them a story about a safe world, a better world, where everyone got along. And I asked them to imagine in their minds that they were part of that world, and that there was a sense of hope in our hearts that we can be safe again and be part of it. And then I asked them to open their eyes, and they each took a turn to tell their stories as we each held on to one another and we listened deeply to each other's stories while the bombs continued to drop around us. That night, I made a deal with God, and I asked him if he could please keep us safe and help end the war. I promised to him that I will spend the rest of my life making sure that I did my best to teach others how to get along, how to create a better change in the world, how to live safely once again. My grandmother, who was, of course, next to me, she told me to take that promise seriously. And I felt this huge responsibility on my shoulders. And I did take it seriously. So years later, I began to take groups of people to spiritual journeys around the world. And one of those journeys happened to be to Turkey. And I'm happy to say that I was welcomed with open arms by the most beautiful people that I met. And during one of our days of travel, I met a man who was helping me with my luggage. And he asked me where I was from. And I told him Cyprus. And he slowed down. And then he asked me, do you still live there? I said, "Oh, no, I left Cyprus right after the war in 1974. He stopped. He said, "Where are you really from? Where is your village?" And I told him. And at that moment, he began to cry. And he told me that he was one of the 18-year-old soldiers who helped destroy the village and evacuated the people who lived there. And more than anything in the world, he wanted to ask for forgiveness. And so we hugged and we cried together, and I forgave him. And forgiveness was something that I was taught by my mother, because I was so angry and so hurt by the injustice of what was going on during the war. And she reminded me that having those emotions was okay, but allowing them to take over was not serving me well. She reminded me to keep an open heart, to let go so that I could actually be filled with compassion and love. And that way I was able to create the change that I wanted to see in the world. So I took what I learned that many years before and I applied it, even in a bigger way, at that moment of my life. People ask me why I continue to do what I do. And I always say this is not just about finding my sense of purpose and meaning. It's about my willingness and my capacity to live my life with purpose every single day. So I would like to close with this. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. Every moment is precious, and we can choose what to do with it. We can lift up the spirits of someone, or we can totally destroy it. That's how long it takes. So imagine that how many opportunities we have every single day to change the world, to shake things up, to ask the right questions. You were born for greatness. You were born to create the change that you would like to see in the world. Together, we're unstoppable. Together, we can do anything. So as you move forward in life, don't let anyone stop you. Move forward one step at a time. Look deeply into your heart and do what makes sense for you and the world around you.
To create a culture of peace, I try to calm my mind and to be patient with myself and with others. This way I can moderate my feelings of anger and other strong emotions. I also get more time with myself to analyze complex issues associated with conflict and inequality. Having a sense of purpose motivates me and drives me towards achieving my future. It makes me be in position to prioritize my life, grow, and get the most from things I do and achieve. I practice tolerance and make sure I respect and welcome opinions from other people. This has helped me to learn widely. I try to have open dialogue with people when they are willing. When I was younger, I thought that the best way to live peacefully was to never disagree with anyone. Disagreement could lead to conflict, and conflict could be uncomfortable and messy. As I'm growing older, I realize that open discussion is the best way for me to understand other people and to make them understand my feelings. Voicing my concern and that of other people help me to create peace. When I get the opportunity to help, I do so knowing there is a reward for good deed, and that reward is peace.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Salinas. Thank you, Katya, for such wisdom. The things that we're hearing, perspective, sharing your perspective, being open to others' perspectives, the light of purpose that can sometimes shine in our hearts, even during tremendous conflict, is significant. And you also spoke about calming the mind, calming the mind. And, sometimes when things are really crazy out there, it can feel hard to kind of feel that peace inside. We've had people ask questions like, oh, how do I find that peace inside? So let's just do a really brief practice right now, a collective connection here for peace. I'll invite you to just relax as you are, whether you're standing in your house, in your kitchen, or whether you're sitting nicely, and just allow yourself for a moment to rest in your body, just where you are. Everything is perfect. Your breath is perfect. There is no right or wrong way to breathe. Just simply notice and follow your breath for one moment. And you can choose to have your eyes closed for a second or have them kind of gently, softly placed on something pleasant in the room. And just feel your feet for one moment here. Feel how your body deeply connects with the biofield of the earth. And feel that support. Allow any tension, emotions to feel as if they're flowing down the body, down the legs, down the feet, into the earth. And just letting it out with a nice sigh. Just resting here for a moment. And then feeling the earth's energy moving in you, up the feet, up the legs, the knees, the thighs, the hips. Feeling that flow of I am. I am. Allowing that flow to come up the hips, to the belly. I feel my body. I feel the connection with the earth. I feel my emotions. I'm present here. Allowing the energy to continue to flow up the body, up the back, and up to the heart, filling the lungs. Allowing yourself to breathe naturally. And feel the earth's energy as she supports you, opens your heart. You can feel the energy from your heart actually flow down the arms, up to the back. And you can say to yourself, I open to guidance and service. My actions flow effortlessly through the guidance and love of the earth. And allowing this energy to continue to travel up the body, up the neck and the head, enlightening our minds and opening through the top of the head in a gesture of surrender. Surrender to the collective, surrender to service, surrender to the divine, whatever feels right for you. Allow yourself to feel filled with the light of peace. And giving gratitude for that universal connection that we are all a part of, that we can tap into at any moment. Just to take a pause for peace. Let's explore now the wisdom of Greg Braden as he tells us about the evolving frameworks and this critical moment in history and herstory.
New discoveries are overturning 150 years of scientific thinking when it comes to you and me. and the way we've been taught to think about ourselves, our relationship to our own bodies, our relationship to one another, to the earth, to the future, to the past, to the cosmos. Those discoveries are writing a new human story. It is a beautiful story of hope and possibility, and it's that story that I want to talk to you about right now. My name is Greg Braden. I'm an author. I'm a scientist. I've got a strong background in the earth sciences as well as the life sciences, molecular chemistry, molecular biology, as well as math, physics, computer science. And I say this to you because it is this background, a multidisciplinary background, that enables me to stay on top of the new discoveries that are being published on a weekly basis. The new discoveries are coming about across the scientific disciplines so quickly that the scientific journals have now resorted to weekly publications to keep the scientific community abreast of these discoveries. The discoveries are telling us that we're not what we've been told in the past. We are more than we have ever even imagined in our wildest dreams. They are discoveries that tell us we're the only form of life with the ability to self-regulate our own biology, to self-regulate our immune system. Wow, who doesn't want that in a world of a global pandemic and our time of extremes? We're the only form of life with the ability to awaken longevity enzymes. And when we do it, it's more than just long life that we're dealing with. We're talking about healing so that we can have that long life. We're the only form of life that can create resilience on demand, that can create deep states of intuition on demand. All of these things are available to us, and here's why they are important. Because we tend to hinge our sense of well-being upon the world around us, our external world. When that world is calm and peaceful and everything is going well, when the economy is good and the kids are good and the politics are good, then we feel good. But when that world begins to change, it is that uncertainty that creates stress, fear, and anxiety within us because we've been conditioned to think that our well-being is determined by that outer world. The better we know ourselves, the better equipped we are to deal with that world. And as we embrace the new discoveries, the best science of the modern world, it's telling us that we are wired for biological sovereignty, for emotional sovereignty, physiological sovereignty, mental sovereignty. We are wired to take our sense of well-being off of autopilot and to become the masters of our inner world, our ability to respond to that world around us. And this is so important when it comes to the peace that we all want to see in our lives, in our world, because it's only possible to have that peace in the world around us when we have become that peace. We must become the very things in our bodies that we choose to experience in the world around us. So when the facts are clear, I think our choices are become obvious. The better we know ourselves, the better equipped we are to deal with the changes and the uncertainty in the world around us. This, to me, is the good news. This is the new human story. You know, when we hear the word story, we often think that our story is something academic or it's a philosophical concept. What I want to say to you is that you live your life based upon the way you've been taught to think about yourself, your story. You heal your body based upon your story. Every relationship that you've ever had is based upon the way that you were taught and conditioned to think about yourself. The laws that we enact, the policies that we embrace, that determine how we live our everyday lives, they're all based upon our story. So I think all of a sudden you begin to see our story is more than a philosophical concept. What could be more important than embracing the deep truth that the new discoveries reveal of you and me and the new human story? We want peace in our world. We must become that peace in our lives. The science is on our side. It's giving us the ways to achieve that. The question is, do we love ourselves enough to embrace and accept what the new discoveries are telling us? Do we love ourselves enough to give our bodies what they need to do what they know how to do very well? Do we love ourselves enough to become in our lives what we choose to experience in the world around us? The choices you and I make each moment of every day are our answer to that question. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your day with me today. And thank you so much for supporting Purpose Earth in this very, very important broadcast in this very important time.
Wow, thank you. That was just an incredible visual and movement depiction of what it means, how it feels for us to come back to ourselves. And Greg, your wisdom, as usual, is unsurpassed as you really beseech us to explore what does it mean to find that peace within us. And I'm curious what you all experience and feel. How do you bring peace within yourselves? Because we know there's so many ways. You know, we just did a little meditation a few moments ago as one way of connecting back with the big biofield of the earth and having her fill us up to fuel our sense of peace and purpose. But there's so many ways. Some people go out in nature. Some people spend time with family. Some people spend time with themselves. Some people engage in art. And I'd love to hear from you. Please tell us in the chat, and I'll share with others if you don't mind. How do you find the best ways to fulfill your sense of peace and your sense of purpose? And you know, clearly one of those ways is to go within. And as we create outside, so we are creating what's in the inside. And again, the biofield perspective, and as Greg said, the science shows us that what we envision, what we think, and truly what we vibrate out from our emotional life and what we think is possible is really what we create. And what's great about that is there are all these opportunities to renew and create, renew and create. So now I want to invite you into a renewal process. If you've got headphones, go ahead and grab them and plug them in and just let yourself go into this next immersive experience and just allow yourself to connect with the wonderful soul and energy that you are as you begin to experience this next gift. Let's dive in.
Once in a while, when the light is just right, you can catch a glimpse of it from the corner of your eye. It is there in the violet glow of dawn, in those still moments where the shapes of dreams spill over into waking life. It's there in the brief moments when eyes meet on a crowded train, familiar and silent recognition of a shared condition. It's there in the alchemical lash when a hand extends to turn a stranger to a friend, a stranger to a friend. It dances at the edge of our imagination, blooming from discarded seeds where where the earth is fertile and unbound by superimposed grids of pipelines, crosswalks, and borders. It's there in a lover's embrace, in the glittering moonlight, in the birth of a child. It's there at the wild frontier where chaos breeds potential, breeds new potential. See, when everything else has been commodified and consumed, categorized, incorporated, it remains at our periphery, waiting only to be believed, so it may be seen for what it truly is. The world we know is possible. The world we know is possible. The world we know is possible when the light is just right. Possibility makes me free.
Hi, my name is Malik, and this is my pet gecko, Nova, leopard gecko. What I think peace means is people coming together and sharing good thoughts and like talking, and not like on their devices. And like this should be in nature too, because nature is like just a peaceful. It's Mother Nature trying to like us to come to her, so we can just be in the moment. And like if you were meditating, let's say, if you were meditating, you wouldn't be on like the floor on your couch. You would be I would say you would be in nature, like when in the rainforest, near a waterfall, near a river, so you can hear Mother Nature. So yeah, that's what I think peace means.
I believe that having a sense of purpose in life is really helpful if you want to be at peace with yourself, because once you know what your purpose is, you can start setting goals for your future. And once you have those goals, you can make a plan and map out all the steps you need to take to accomplish those goals and to get where you want to go. once you have this solid plan, you can always focus. And even if you make some mistakes, even if you go out of the way for some time, you can always go back and rely on that plan and just follow those steps and really be calm, because you know what you're doing, and be sure that you're doing the right thing. And I think that's really what peace is all about. You need to be calm with yourself, at ease, and just focused and sure that you know what you're doing. So having a sense of purpose is really, really important if you want to achieve inner peace.
Hello, I'm Reverend Deborah Moldow. We live in extraordinary times. The crises are mounting all around us. Extreme weather, exacerbated by climate change, violence all over the world, vast species extinction, political and income extremes, racism rearing its ugly head, and to top it all off, a pandemic destroying lives and livelihoods around the world. These conditions, plus institutions incapable of reversing them, are threatening the very future of the human race. And yet, a new spirit is emerging at the same time. Don't you feel it? For the first time in history, we're beginning to see ourselves as one human family sharing a common planetary home and a common destiny. We recognize the values that transcend our diverse backgrounds and beliefs. We are awakening to a shared intention to learn to live in harmony with one another and the beautiful planet that gives us life, to build together a worldwide culture of peace. Can you feel this yearning in your own heart, this feeling that the future is calling to us to act now? This is the call of purpose. Growing up as a child actress in New York City, I thought I was born to be on the stage. Yet, when I was ordained as an interfaith minister, I became aware that my true purpose was to be in service to others. Then gradually, as my work expanded to a global stage, representing the prayer, "May peace prevail on earth," at the United Nations, and also helping to found the Worldwide United Religions Initiative, I realized that my work was to help in the transformation of human consciousness, and that there were amazing people all over the world taking part in this evolution. Now, I serve as director of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle of the Source of Synergy Foundation, a community of visionaries who have dedicated their life's work to the conscious evolution of humanity. In other words, actively choosing our future. Together, 43 of these evolutionary leaders have written a book called Our Moment of Choice: Evolutionary Visions and Hope for the Future. This book invites us all to step into our purpose, with 37 inspiring chapters, each followed by action steps that you can take in your own life. If you're living your purpose, you'll find your community in this book. If you're still seeking your purpose, you'll find inspiration for your journey in Our Moment of Choice. And if your path of purpose has brought you into the flow of abundance, you might want to share some of that abundance with the Purpose Earth Fund to help our sisters and brothers around the world awaken to their purpose. Because in this moment of choice, everyone is needed. Whatever contribution to this evolutionary leap you are called to make, thank you. Thank you for bringing forth your light and for helping us to build a garden of light to lead the way into a bright and beautiful future beyond our imagining. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ashley, for that beautiful immersion into roses. Thank you, Deborah, for your incredible wisdom and for all the work that the evolutionary leaders do. I'm so proud to be an evolutionary leader, and I feel so supported by the community. And in fact, we all do. This is our moment of choice. I want to thank Malik and his gecko, Nova, for telling us how he comes to peace and what he's learned from our interspecies friends. And Paula, thank you for your wisdom on how purpose helps us find peace. It's really just incredible. And indeed, this is our moment of choice. We get to choose how we spend our energy. We get to choose the vision that we have for the world and bring forth hope and action. And again, I want to thank everybody that's involved with Purpose Earth, who is really helping make that happen, including Rhiannon, who started us off with that incredible, deep and beautiful immersive experience. Thank you. She's also holding an incredible amount of space for this event today. I want to thank Rhiannon. I want to thank Elia and Lawrence and everybody at the Purpose Earth team that is helping put together such an extraordinary event today. And I want to thank you because it's through your generosity, through your connecting with your purpose and your spirit of generosity that you will keep this flowing for all of our social change activists today. And so if you can help to reach that $100,000 match of donations, please do. All amounts are welcome because it's the vibration of love and spirit that's really going to fuel this social change, positive purpose, and peace movement. So super easy. You can text Purpose 2020 to 44-321. You can go to purposeearth.org, all one word, purposeearth.org, to donate and apply. If you are a change agent that needs support, you are among friends, you are among loved ones who are here to support you in your movements towards peace and purpose and social change. So please get involved, get connected if you aren't already. Well, we're coming closer and closer to the end of our time here, but we've got so much wisdom and we want to showcase some of the incredible work that these social change activists are doing. Next, I'm really pleased to introduce some of our amazing, both, you can say, parents of social change, including one of the co-founders of Purpose Earth, as well as some of our young leaders that are helping create change across the globe. Let's listen and learn from Timothea, Laura, Emmanuel, and so many more. Coming up now.
If I was asked to draw a picture of peace, I will start off by painting a beautiful lake surrounded by tall green mountains and a blue sky. However, growing up, I realized that peace isn't the absence of turbulent times. Rather, peace is how well composed you are, even in the face of challenges. When I am faced with turbulent times, I remind myself to stay calm and remain focused. I also check my pulse, and I tell myself, so far as you have life, you are the biggest change maker. I, however, realize that this is not the case for the people in our community or everyone around us. Some people find it hard to reach within and find that inner peace. So I ask, what can we do to support these people? In my opinion, the answer is very simple. We need to tell them, we need to make them believe, and we need to remind them that the tough situations do not last. However, tough people do last.
Hi, everybody. Warm welcome to all of you today. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce you to Timothea Bachi, who is here with us from Accra, Ghana, and is one of our first Purpose Earth grant recipients. Timothea, warmest welcome to you. It's such an honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Laura, and hello, everyone.
Our Purpose to Earth Council was so impressed with your application, Timo. They loved the way that you presented your project entitled Transforming the Environment, Transforming Lives. Tell us a little bit about the project and the goals that you aspire to achieve.
All right, thank you so much, Laura, for having me once again. So my purpose project titled Transforming the Environment, Transforming Lives is basically an environmental sustainability project, which is to empower the people of a community I adopted called Esikabio Community. So basically, we are teaching these people how to recycle and reuse and upcycle the waste they create in their environment into useful and beautiful artifacts which they can sell to empower them economically, to give them a second stream of income. It's a peasant farming community, so most of them, a typical day for them would be to wake up, go into the farm, get produce, and then send to the market for sale. But we want to enlighten them because there's so much change and so much development happening in the world. You can't just be in your own circle and know just what you're comfortable with. So we want to expose them to the many developments and happenings in the world, and we are targeting the environment to do this.
Fantastic. Esikabui is the village where you're doing your project is very different from Accra, the big city that you're from. Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that the community is facing and who you hope most to impact positively through your project.
Absolutely. So Esikabio is a really small community in the eastern part of Ghana. It has a population of about 300 people. And when I got into the community, what I realized was that it's a fairly populated community, has a fair age, elderly women, the youth, and then elderly men. However, I realized that the youth didn't have much going on for themselves, and the elderly women were just skewed towards one thing they knew. So one challenge I saw is that there's poverty. They're doing well, but there's room to do more. Okay, there's one of the young ladies in the community who has a kid, and she's 20 years, she's not married, and she doesn't have a good livelihood for herself. So basically what I intend to do is to bridge this gap of empowering them economically by teaching them a new skill they can use to improve their lives. And also the waste management is a problem you go into the community and there's litter all over the place. So we are targeting the environment to help them create a living for themselves.
When you speak about your commitment to the project, Timo, you have an inner glow that you emit. There's a sense of peacefulness in you. I'm wondering, is there a particular incident or a person that influenced you on your path to becoming a change maker?
All right, Laura, I love this question, and it's because I had the aha moment for me. That was back in 2018 when I went on the Green Heart Global Leaders Conference. And there was a session where there were young people who had been beneficiaries of grants, and they were sharing their stories and what they did. And there was a young lady from Ghana who shared a story of how she used her grant to transform the lives of young people in the central region of Ghana. And I was so blown away. I was like, this could be me, I can also make that difference in my community. I have what it takes. It's not beyond me. So I think that was the defining moment for me when I saw young people like myself doing so great.
If there were one piece of advice that you could give to others who are seeking purpose in their lives, what would you share with them, Timothina?
Well, Laura, I think, and I strongly believe that it all boils down to having a dream. There must be a vision. There must be something you believe you are called to do. And honestly, I, for one, I feel enormously blessed. I've been a beneficiary of so many people's leadership and guidance and support. And so I feel I've been called to also pay it forward. And it's my dream to be able to influence the society very positively. And I believe that everyone has to have a dream. And when you have that dream, do whatever it takes to make sure you achieve it.
Thank you for that beautiful response, Timothina, and for being with us today. Enormous congratulations for having achieved a grant from Purpose Earth. And we look forward to tracking your progress on our website, purposeearth.org.
Thank you, Laura, for having me. I've had an amazing time. Thank you so much, Purpose Earth, for the grant. It's transforming the lives of the people of Esikabi. We are most grateful.
Around the world, while in quarantine, people have found countless creative ways to stay connected. Many creating together from a distance, and many also creating in isolation. Creating, sharing stories, and living with purpose are core ways we heal, send love, grow, and cultivate peace. We are creative beings at our core, even if we don't all think of ourselves as artists. We all have the power to create change, to create a new world, to create beauty, peace, and healing in so many manifestations. These are just a few of the countless people sharing their vision and heart with the world through these unprecedented times of transformation. To all creators and all living or seeking your purpose, thank you. We are with you. We are all agents of change. And truly, we are never, ever alone. With love from Purpose Earth.
Hello, I'm Emmanuel Kunzelman, one of the founders of Purpose Earth. And I'd like to speak today about community activation, which is really the primary component of Purpose Earth. Community activation is about building our grassroots organizations to a thriving and surviving mass of work together. It's about nourishing, encouraging, motivating, broadening the vision of our communities so that they are strong and healthy and private and productive. They are thriving in a way that will fulfill their purpose, communities of purpose across the globe. We often think that communities should deliver vast amounts of information and motivation to carry their vision through. But we now know from scientific studies that information and motivation only comprise 20% of social transformation. And the remaining 80% is about the behavioral issues, about the sharing of values, about the community support. So this really comes down to building an ecosystem for change in which we can thrive and understand each other and self-support our visions as we move forward. Often people feel lonely, full of despair, losing hope, working so hard on their own out there, and it just seems like we're just one drop in a huge bucket of water. But as our communities come together and work together, we light up and link up. And we suddenly realize that we're not only not alone, but we're in this together across the globe, around the world, linking arms in this singular moment of global transformation, supporting each other with shared values and visions of a new future where we work together in coherence, convergence, harmony, cooperation, and with compassion for all our fellow human beings. That is community activation. Building others, building ourselves, moving from me to we, to a shared concept of a feeling of belonging where we work together in this ecosystem that supports us. And as each ecosystem builds, thrives, and grows, we combine with others, and it becomes a movement, a global movement across the globe. Indeed, it is. It's already there, but now is its moment to emerge, to flourish, and to bring home a truly purposeful earth, a new beginning, a brighter future, a look into a world that works for everyone. Thank you for joining us, for being part of Purpose Earth, for your generous contributions and your presence today. We're all part of Purpose Earth with the purpose of bringing this world to its highest human potential. Thank you again for joining us on this program.
You see, they wanted us to tiptoe through the tulips. We said, no, we're gonna footwork and move hips. See, our tiptoes be too swift, we two-step, then move quick. See, we be foundation. Like concrete in an open lot, y'all dance was built off of what we brought, and we brought that realness, that grit, that grime. You call it urban, we say color can't be defined. Honey, we are melanin skin. We turn bland into current trend with a pop block and a head spin. See, we know what it means to stand in the sunlight even though they be throwing shade. We have bled from red hearts and still came out like black spades, winning no matter the hand. Because in every hand, spades always trump. Put our feelings and emotions in protest, in crump, fist bump. Like Africa Bombada, we started breaking rules. Used hip-hop as our tool. Shout out to DJ Kool Herc for putting in work. Can I get a whoop whoop for the old school? We salute Sam, y'all, but that's boogaloo. You see, we roll Soul Train because our souls were in pain. But we do not vogue in vain. From our black, we whack. From New York to Camelback, racism never ran this train off track, and we still kept it classy. Like Catherine Dunham. Modern dance never seen us coming. And we realized then that they may not like the color of our skin, but that our music and our movement is in every sector you're in. So when we step in the cypher, we don't hesitate. We dance away the anger so we don't harbor hate. And we learn through dance how to collaborate. And if we all did the same, y'all, we could make America great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Weeby. Thank you to everyone who just put that amazing, amazing segment together. And thank you, Emmanuel, for sharing your wisdom as a co-founder of Purpose Earth, reminding us that we are all one, and yet we've all had our own experiences. It's like we're all part, of course, of the same fabric of consciousness, of Shakti herself, you could say, of divine energy in all of these different forms. And all of us have the opportunity right now, to learn from each other, right? To grow from each other, to help foster the changes that we want to do in our own communities. We're in diverse communities. We have diverse perspectives, and yet we're all one. I want to give a shout out to Judith, who actually named this as she was sharing her wisdom in the chat. Judith says, peace within creates peace in our community and the world. Once this level of connection and peace is felt, then inspired action can be taken from a place of love and compassion. And for her, she shares that creating a culture of peace in all areas of my life is to keep in mind the divinity in everything, having a sense of reverence for all my fellow beings, the earth, and all her inhabitants. From this, she is able to choose and create a life and a world that she wants, understanding that the tapestry of truth is woven through all of these different perspectives, and that we are all valued. In fact, we are all essential to creating this culture of peace and harmony. So I'm just so heartened and thrilled by groups like Purpose Earth that are really helping to lead this change through unity consciousness and listening to each other deeply. Next, we're going to hear a little bit more about ways that we can take inspired action by one of the other co-founders of Purpose Earth, Ben Bowler.
Hey everyone, I hope you've enjoyed and been inspired by this program as much as I have. Big shout out to Rhiannon and Lawrence and all the team who've worked so hard, the Purpose Earth production team, and great job, Shamini, for being our incredible hostess on this program. We're near the end now, and this is a moment to really reflect on all the incredible content we've seen, the change makers, the artists, the activists, all coming together in a cohesive plan to help rise this transformation on the planet. People are given dreams. People are given this hope of purpose in their lives. And we have an opportunity to be a part of empowering that, to be a part of enabling that, to be the scaffolding that can help leaders, individuals, and communities achieve their purpose, not for themselves, but on behalf of all of us, on behalf of the whole. This is such an exciting moment. This $100,000 matching grant. We are looking to raise $200,000 that we can distribute through the system over the coming months. Imagine the impact that can have. Imagine the transformation that can achieve. We need your support and we need your help. You can see the quality of the people, our immaculate grants council, the incredible production team, the extraordinary grantees that we've already been able to fund and to mentor. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are looking to do so much more. And folks, we need to do so much more. There are so many organizations, so many dreams, so much good work being done, but too many are scratching around trying to find money, trying to find support, trying to find some help to help them get to the next level. We get to play a chance, to play a role, to support them and to help them together. It's not about one individual leader going and doing this. This is about us collectively coming together to put our time, our energy, and our resources to help shoulder to the wheel, turn this planet around. There's so much work to be done. We need your support. We are blessed by this $100,000 matching grant that has been given by incredibly generous and committed people, but don't let it go to waste. We need to utilize it all. And so please look at the link down here. Please support. Please support. Nothing too small and nothing too big. Be generous. Be generous. And the more we give, the more we can really become what it is that we are destined to become, and we can feel it in our hearts. The more we can support each other, these young ones, these youth, these community groups around the planet, to be a part of this grassroots rising up in our time. This is our moment. We need your support. We thank you for your time and for your participation today, and we look forward to a journey together, to a purposeful earth, to a unity earth for one and for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. And thank you again to all of the Purpose Earth team that has made this beautiful event possible. And thank you to all of you that have been watching and are facilitating social change, purpose, and peace out into the world. We're artists, we're scientists, we're social change activists, we're parents, we're children, we're caregivers. In short, we're really all of these things. And we're simply consciousness itself, weaving its way into the world, igniting the hearts of those that we love and those that we may not even know, those that we pass down the street. Every single vibration that we put out matters. Every single vibration of peace matters. Every single vibration of purpose matters. And it's already within you. You don't even have to look very far. You just have to connect to that light that's within you and carry out your purpose. And we would love for you to stay connected with our community. So check out the chat, learn how you can stay connected with us. Definitely go to purposeearth.org, purposeearth.org. And again, share your wisdom, share your spirit of generosity. If you feel called to donate and match that $100,000 matching grant, I mean, that's pretty incredible. You can see how that gets funneled out worldwide for positive social change, enlightening the hearts of our youth and even our elders as well. And of course, apply for a grant. If you feel like you qualify for that and you are out there moving things out into the world in a positive way, following your purpose, do apply for the grant. It's available for applications until December 4th. And most of all, we really just appreciate your being here, your being with us, sharing your wisdom as you have in the chat. We look forward to staying connected with you. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And again, thanks for joining us and for being a light of peace in your world and in ours.